What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, man. Today, reacting to one of the top 5 video, man. 15 rarest snakes in the mother world. Now, for those of y'all that know me, man, especially if you follow me on IG, I be posting like all types of animal and weird shit, bro, like that on my story 24/7, bro. So, I thought I'd just go ahead and bring my love for animals and nature and shit like that to YouTube, because that's just something that I don't know. I just love looking at shit like that. Like, I send my girl all types of shit like that all the time, bro. You know what I mean? But without further ado, we gon' hop right into it, my boy. No cap, or my girl, whoever watching this bitch right now. You know what I'm saying? No cap. Damn, I got stuff at some of my videos, man. All right, let's get started.
Snakes are found on every continent except Antarctica. Yet despite their abundance,
I actually
there are
didn't know
some
that.
species that are nearly extinct. So today we're going to be giving you the inside scoop on which species are the hardest to come by, counting down the top 15 rarest snakes in the world. Number 15, Darevsky's viper. While northeastern Turkey is widely considered to be a global hotspot for vipers, Darevsky's viper is not doing all that well. Found in limited areas within the countries of Turkey, Armenia, and Georgia, they're found exclusively in remote mountain ranges. They stand apart thanks to both their long, venomous fangs and the beautiful zigzag patterning of their scales.
Hey, mom, I know damn well you're not watching this video right now. I just know, I know you're not watching this video right now. For those of y'all that know, my mama, she hates snakes, bro. I swear to God, she hates snakes, bro. So it's like, I know she's not watching this video right now. My bad. I know you like to watch my videos, but you're not watching this one. No cap. We're gonna get back into it, though.
Despite this, they've been unable to survive in the face of human interference. This is largely because of their natural habitat. It's become prime spot for construction of dams, large farms, and cattle ranches. Unfortunately, this has reduced their numbers so much that there are now less than 500 left in the wild.
Humans just be fucking up all types of shit.
Wolf snake. If you ever happen to visit the island of Lucia in the Philippines, then you may chance upon Ross's wolf snake, located along the forest floor.
A wolf snake?
Apart due to the fact that they have no patterning on their back, and instead use the darkness of their habitat as cover. However, in recent years, the forests they live in have been heavily logged to make way for cattle ranches. This has fragmented their habitat to the point that only 52 square kilometers of land is suitable for the species. As such, unless these ranching activities are stopped, the snake's population will likely continue to decline. Number 13, the Dusky Sea Snake. While some snakes slither on land, the Dusky Sea Snake is the first on this list to be found underwater. Located within a small number of coral reefs on the shore of Western Australia.
Yo, hey, that snake actually looks fire though. Like, y'all see the colors look like, it look like, yeah, some black and blue shit though. Man, but like, I don't know, look. For those of y'all that, if you actually do see like this type of snake or something like that, bro, like, I'll never see this type of snake, because for one, I can't swim. No, that's a stereotype. Black people can't swim or some shit like that. But hey, man, look, I can't swim. You know what I'm saying? And it's got nothing to do with the fact that, like, I just don't want to learn how to swim and no shit like that. No. For some reason, when I see large bodies of water and shit like that, bro, I get nauseated. You know what I'm saying? But surprisingly, I do want to go on another cruise, though. So maybe that's hypocritical of me. I don't know. But nah, this snake actually does look beautiful, though. This snake hard.
Typically purplish-brown in color, and use their poisonous fangs to hunt for prey, such as wrasses and gobies. Yet while they may be a predator in their habitat, they are no match for the threats imposed on them by humans. That's because the warming of coastal waters have caused coral reefs to become bleached, and the impacts are so bad that in a 2015 study, 92% of the sampled sites along this reef system were at least 60% bleached. Thus, unless some major efforts are made to protect this species, its numbers will likely continue to decline.
That's great, man.
Orlov's viper. While both Darevsky's and Orlov's vipers may be named after Russian scientists, they live in quite distinct regions of the world. That's because unlike Darevsky's viper, Orlov's viper is only found in a tiny area of Russia's Caucasus Mountains at altitudes of between 200 and 950 meters. While this has put it out of the way of most human developments, their beautiful appearances made them a favorite of pet poachers, who sell them abroad for insanely
I ain't
high
gonna lie.
prices.
Look like somebody put some motherfucking sea salt and just
Just
just poured it all over this shit.
little chance that their numbers will recover. Number 11, the Alcatrazes Lancehead.
The Alka what,
Sorry
nigga?
to inform you that the Alcatrazes Lancehead is not a snake that populates the prison cells of Alcatraz Island. However, this species can instead be found on the similarly named Brazilian island of Alcatrazes, which is located about 35 kilometers off the coast of Sao Paulo. Measuring in at about 50 centimeters in length, it's known to feed on cockroaches and centipedes, and isn't exactly known to like living near humans. Yet due to it being only found on the island of Alcatrazes, the snake began to experience some extreme disturbances once the Brazilian Navy began to use the island as a naval target practice area. To make matters worse, humans have also begun to settle on Alcatrazes, thus making it even more difficult for this snake to live in peace. So it is currently...
Man, I know I keep pausing the video and stuff like that, bro, but we be the cause of a bunch of animals just going extinct and stuff like that. And clearly I'm noticing the pattern, man, for all these different snakes, man, for like the reason why these are the 15 rarest snakes, man. All the reasons so far have been because of people like us. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I don't like snakes, and I'm about to sound real hypocritical for saying this, but if I see a snake come inside my crib, if it's any one of these snakes right here, I'm sorry. It's gotta go. It's gotta die immediately. But I will say this, if it's in its own habitat and stuff like that, and it's not bothering me or nothing like that, then it ain't gotta worry about nothing. These niggas right here, though, they specifically going over to their habitats and just like, you know, create. They like he just said, man, he said, made homie whole home, bro. Like, target practice, bro. Just imagine, bro. Just imagine you an animal, right? You just enjoying your day, bro. You look up in the sky, nigga, and you see a big ass nuke just come down, nigga. It just start like blowing up your home, nigga. You be like, what the like, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Life of an animal, bro. Life, bro, in the animal kingdom, bro. It's hard out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? No cap. I know one thing, like when I seen a video, it was titled, not titled, but I seen a meme and it was saying that the hunter will always be glorified until the lion tells the story. And that's some true shit. That's some true things right there, bro. No cap.
considered to be critically endangered by the IUCN. Number 10, St. Lucia racer. Of all the snakes on this list, few have a habitat quite as small as the St. Lucia racer. That's because not only is it extremely rare, but also has a population that's dipped so much that nowadays it can be found on a single 9-hectare island. How did this happen? Well, it turns out that it was commonly found across St. Lucia before European settlement. However, in the late 19th century, predatory mongooses were introduced to St. Lucia in order to fight off pests. While they certainly did their job well, these mongooses also had a go at many of the island's indigenous species, and the St. Lucia racer was a creature that was one of their favorite snacks. As a result, the species was declared extinct in 1936. However, some hope was regained in 1973 after a single individual was caught on the island of Maria Major. This led to the beginning of some serious conservation efforts, and in 2011, conservationists got to work making Maria Major a perfect habitat for these snakes, involving everything from clearing the island of predators to establishing a captive breeding program. In 2012, the conservation area was finally completed. Once all was said and done, a total of 18 individuals were set loose in the area, and ever since, their numbers have slowly been on the rise. Number 9, the Santa Catalina rattlesnake. Put simply, Isla Santa Catalina is absolutely stunning. Located inside Mexico's Baja California peninsula, the island is completely uninhabited and is thus home to several remarkable species. Yet despite the island's near pristine nature, the Santa Catalina rattlesnake has been running into some serious problems. It's relatively small in stature and it stands apart for not having a rattle. This is because in the past it didn't have any predators and would hunt in a rather atypical way by slithering up trees and feeding on birds. Yet this lack of a rattling deterrent began to put it in harm's way after humans settled nearby. That's because it's not able to intimidate non-native creatures, and this became a problem when feral cats were introduced to the island. To make matters worse, some humans have even gotten in on the action by actively poaching them for their skin, thus creating an illegal black market that incentivizes the slaughter of these innocent snakes. Thus, they're currently listed as critically endangered by the IUCN and are widely considered to be decreasing in quantity. So only time will tell whether or not they're able to make a comeback.
That's crazy.
We're constantly adding more people to the Top 5's production team to bring you all the best content. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on and hit the like button.
Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to these people, man, if you like stuff like this.
While many of the
I'm
snakes
subscribed
on
to
this list have rather monotone colors, the Pulau Tioman ground snake's red scales certainly stands out from the pack. Yet despite it standing out visually, it certainly hasn't stood out much to Malaysian conservation officials. You see, this snake is only found on the tiny island of Tioman, which lives on Malaysia's eastern coast and comes in at just 136 square kilometers. And while this isolation can sometimes provide for good conservation opportunities, the Malaysian government has essentially ignored the snake entirely. That's because the forests of Tioman are privately
Snakes are
owned.
fast. Snakes are fast, bro.
Conservation parks exist on the island. As you might expect, these private owners have
I wonder how fast is a snake, bro. If you know how much, bro, put down in the comments.
This is made worse by the fact that the island is heavily populated by both local residents and tourists. In fact, if the forest loss continues at its current rates, the result may effectively be the removal of all forest on the island within the next 10 years. If this were to occur, it's almost certain that the species will go extinct. Number 7, the leaf-scaled sea snake.
Ooh, like somebody skinned that nigga alive.
Few are quite as mysterious as the leaf-scaled sea snake. Endemic to northwestern Australia's Ashmore and Hibernia reef location. In the 1990s, it used to have a population of between 4,000 and 9,000 specimens within its range. However, in 2001, the snake practically disappeared overnight. The reasons around the disappearance are unknown, yet the main contributing factors were likely prey and habitat degradation. These come as negative effects of human activities and coral bleaching, both of which essentially kill coral reefs and leave the leaf-scaled snake with nowhere to live. So, for more than a decade, the species was thought to be extinct. However, this narrative was flipped on its head in December of 2015. That's because in this month, 16 individuals were discovered in the seagrass beds of Shark Bay. This was an incredible find, because Shark Bay is found off the coast of Western Australia, placing it more than 1,700 kilometers south of the leaf-scaled sea snakes presumably.
So they seen the snakes that live there and just put them in jars, nigga?
Lead researcher Blanche Denastasi was recorded as saying that, quote, "This discovery is really exciting, but in order to succeed in protecting them, we'll need to monitor population as well as undertake research into understanding their biology and the threats they face," end quote. On our end, we hope they're able to do so to ensure that these snakes can have a long future on our planet.
That nigga was dead.
Number 6, the short-nosed sea snake. Much like the leaf-scaled sea snake, the short-nosed sea snake has a backstory that's quite fascinating. Endemic to the Ashmore and Hibernia reefs of northwestern Australia, it stands apart thanks to its small, pointed head and array of shiny silver scales. Yet like the leaf-scaled sea snake, it seemingly had disappeared from its endemic range in 2001, thus making many believe that it had gone extinct. However, a set of extensive studies in 2015 found that the snake's range is far larger than what was once thought. That's because several specimens have been found in northwestern Australia's Aruba Sea and western Australia's Exmouth Gulf and Ningaloo Reef. As a result, scientists are now scrambling to find more of them and hopefully create a coherent conservation plan. But as far as making this plan goes, there are several threats to the short-nosed sea snake that need to be considered. The most impactful are changes in seawater temperatures via global warming, being accidentally caught by commercial prawn fishers, both of which have taken massive chunks out of their population.
Put down in the comments if you actually believe in global warming.
Which can decimate large swaths of seabed, dredging activities which destroys ecosystems, and all other disturbances which affect their breeding patterns. However, the one thing that these problems do all have in common is that they are gradually
look at this nigga
destroying the
eyes.
entire ecosystems of these snakes, and will likely continue to do so unless serious action is taken on the part of the Australian government. Number 5, the Antiguan racer. While the Antiguan racer is considered to be critically endangered, by all accounts its story is overwhelmingly positive. That's because despite being near extinction in 1995, conservation efforts has made this snake one of the greatest comeback stories out there. Now, the species used to be found in abundance across Antigua and Barbuda. However, the introduction of rats and mongooses in the 19th century, its numbers began to decline sharply. The situation became so bad that by 1995, only 50 specimens still remained. To make matters worse, all of them lived on a tiny 8.4-hectare island known as Great Bird Island, which is a tiny outcrop located 2.5 kilometers off the northeast coast of Antigua. As such, it was clear that the snake truly was in dire straits. However, after a well-connected couple took a liking to the species, they were able to attract the support of Flora and Fauna International, which is one of the oldest and most well-established conservation organizations in the world. their help, they were able to launch a number of education, conservation, and pest removal initiatives. Of these, the education piece has been key, as many groups of school children have been taken to see these snakes and learn about their habitat. Over time, the conservationists have been able to introduce the snake to a few other small islands, and by 2015, an estimated 1,100 specimens were believed to exist. This means that the Tioman racer has become about 22 times more prevalent than before the efforts began. And on our end, we applaud the efforts of the conservationists and local people for helping to put this snake back on track. Number 4. Wagner's Viper. The Wagner's Viper truly is a beautiful species. Growing to a maximum
like a reptile version of a leopard.
Set of patterned scales, an elongated head, and a hard-hitting venom. Found throughout eastern Turkey, it was first discovered by German scientist Moritz Wagner in 1846. Yet went undocumented for years due to the fact that Wagner had mislabeled its location. Yet about 140 years later, it effectively got rediscovered by a group of German entomologists. And after about a decade of research, they made a shocking discovery. As put by researchers Goran Nilsson and Claes Adren in 1999, quote, Wagner's Viper is a rather handsome snake. And once the distribution was discovered and more widely known, a number of groups of viper collectors, mainly European, went to the known valley in East Turkey and collected large number of vipers. It seems that many pregnant females were removed from this location, and about 10 years ago it was easy to find newborns of this species listed for sale by European dealers and terrarium societies, end quote. This put the team in a panicked frenzy to have the species redocumented and listed as critically endangered, so it could not be exported to Europe. Yet it soon appeared that the damage was already done, as by 2009 at least 80% of its historic population had been wiped out. To make matters worse, it was experiencing great disturbances thanks to the building of a new dam on a nearby Rarest river, with the dam threatening to destroy a large portion of the snake's habitat. As a result, breeding programs abroad began to step in to help, with the St. Louis Zoo taking major steps by being home to several breeding pairs. As such, while the population is still in decline, the likelihood of it actually going extinct is thankfully quite low. Number 3. The Aruba Island Rattlesnake.
Man, before he even get into this right here, right? Man, let me tell y'all something. And this is a question that I want to ask, bro. Upon seeing a snake, bro, like if y'all just randomly see a snake outside, bro, for those of y'all that do know in the comments, bro, how do you tell whether it's a male or a female? I just want to know. All I see is a little squiggly reptile, you know what I mean? I just want to know, how do you tell they're a male or a female? Just by looking at them. You know what I mean? I'm not finna go examine no snake and like look for the genitals and those like that, cause you know what I mean? It's weird.
It goes without saying that Aruba is a beautiful island. Located in the southern Caribbean, it measures in at just 179 square kilometers. Yet despite this, it's an immensely popular tourist spot for beachgoers from around the world. Yet while the island may be pretty, it's facing a situation that's quite ugly. Because the island is home to the Aruba Island Rattlesnake, which is largely considered to be one of the most endangered snakes in the entire world. Found only on the island of Aruba, it stands apart due to it having a light brown body covered in distinctive pink, blue, and brown diamond-shaped markings. And while it used to live on the island in large numbers, there are now less than 250 left in the wild. Why is this? Well, one of the most telling issues is that its range is limited to the southern end of the island. This is problematic, because there are many human developments there, thus drastically reducing the snake's natural habitat. There are also several non-native animals that threaten its survival, with these including boa constrictors that compete for the same food sources, and feral goats that destroy its habitat. To top this off, poaching is also a serious problem, as many have been caught and exported to wealthy buyers as part of an illegal pet trade. So the Aruba Island rattlesnake is certainly not in the best of positions. However, several conservation programs have been put into place over the years. One of the most essential was the instatement of the Aruba National Park in the early 1980s, which created an official government-funded apparatus to monitor the snakes. The government has also implemented many outreach and education initiatives to change local perception of the snake and highlight its ecological importance. These efforts have been complemented by foreign partnerships, as Aruba has a working relationship with the Toledo Zoo to monitor these creatures. And while all of these efforts sound great, we just hope that they end up being effective. Number 2. Albino snakes. While animals with regular coloring are absolutely stunning, Their albino variations are often even more sought after. By definition, albinism is a congenital absence of any pigmentation or coloration in a person, animal, or plant. And in snakes, this usually results in white scales and pink eyes. In order for albinism to occur, an animal will usually inherit one or more mutated genes from both parents that interfere with the body's production of melanin. As you might imagine, albino snakes have quite a few challenges when it comes to survival in the wild. First is that their white color makes them stand out. This is problematic because snakes generally depend on camouflage to survive in their native habitats.
Facts, they need that stealth.
They'll often be eaten before reaching adulthood. These albino snakes also have a much higher sensitivity to the rays of the sun, making them less able to adapt to hot environments. To top this off, since albinism leads to large decreases of melanin in the eyes, all albino snakes have blindness or vision impairment. As such, they often find it very difficult to hunt and function like normal snakes. So albino snakes are extremely rare in the wild, as most never reach maturity and thus never reproduce. However, albino snakes are extremely common in captivity. This is because albinism is easily transmissible to a snake's offspring, and thus breeders will often purposefully breed albino snakes so that they can sell them for a higher price. So while an albino snake at your local zoo may look pretty cool, keep in mind, there are thousands of them out there. Number 1. The Round Island Keel-Scaled Boa. While Mauritius may not be the most well-known African country out there, this small island nation is in fact home to one of the best comeback stories in the animal world. Now, before human settlement, both a keeled scale and burrowing boa used to be present on the island. Both of these snakes measured in at about 1.5 meters long. However, after humans brought creatures such as wild pigs and rats to the island, even the boa could not compete with them for food or defend against them when attacked. As such, it didn't take long for both of them to become completely extinct on the island. While this could have spelled the end for both species, things began to turn around when a healthy population was found on Round Island, a tiny island off the north shore of Mauritius. There was not much there in terms of resources, and thus for years no humans interfered with the island. However, the Mauritian settlers eventually decided to place goats and rabbits on the island so that they could graze. This became problematic when both of these animals effectively ate almost all the vegetation and eroded almost all of the soil on the island, thus destroying what once was a pristine boa habitat. This led to the Round Island burrowing boa going extinct in 1975, and by 1996 the Round Island keeled scale boa had a population of less than 250 individuals. In the face of this problematic situation, conservationists got to work. In order to replenish their numbers, they were able to petition the government to remove all goats and rabbits from the island. They then supplemented this by restoring much of their old habitat, which increased the population of the lizards they hunted as prey. In tandem, these efforts have allowed the boa to reach a population of almost 1,000, and is now well on its way to recovery. Watch our Animals playlist for more top 15 videos about animals. Sit back, relax.
Hey man, if y'all enjoyed this video, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, man, so y'all get notified every time I upload. I'm thinking about doing more reactions like these, man, where I just react to stuff animal related and, you know, just other things in general. You know, I'm still gonna do reaction to the other stuff that I do, but I am incorporating some of the things that some other things that I like to do. You know what I mean? And hopefully, I get some new people, you know, that come that's also, you know, interested in these kind of things, man. Listen, also another thing, man, when it comes to population control with all of these animals and stuff like that, man, it's humans, bro. We gotta get it together, bro. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. We gotta get it. He said we gotta keep it together, man. Can't be out here extinguishing all. He said all life on the planet, man. He said all of these other animals, reptiles, and stuff like that on the planet, man. It's just wild. But yeah, like I said, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Go a little over here for sure. I'm finna edit this motherfucker right now so you can go up with this other vlog.
I'ma stay down till I take off like a cruise jet. And I'm 10 ain't down to fall. No bro wanna tip on how to ball, he gotta risk it all. No more misconceptions, if they love you, they gon' get involved. This shit independent in my yard, trying to break the wall, it's hard, but it ain't adding up.